Welcome to Make It Your Business, the podcast. Get the advice you need to grow your business by getting guidance from industry experts and interviews with successful small business owners. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe.
Hello.
Bonjour, monsieur.
How's it going?
Good.
You cool today?
Yeah.
Again. Just not warming up yet, is it?
Yeah. Oh, roll on spring. I tell you. I mean, it's obviously quite nice here. We've got windows. You look out on the nice, but yeah, just to be out there in the sunshine, kissing your skin.
I'm looking forward to the summer.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a long time coming, I think, because we've had a cold winter.
Maybe I'll go get some winter sunshine.
Yeah.
Don't know. Anyway, sorry, I digress.
Cool, that's okay. So today we're talking about trade shows and small businesses. How can a trade show help you as a small business owner? Do you need to be doing them? And if so, where do you go about it?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my opinion. Yeah, I like trade shows because they give you the ability to be in a place where lots of your clients are.
Mm-hmm.
But
Depends on the business. Obviously, if you're an electrician, you're not going to be into a trade show, are you? So
so we've got some caveats there. So the caveats are, you're right, there's some industries where trade shows aren't necessarily going to be as beneficial. You've got your approach to the trade show is another way. And you've got both ends of the spectrum, not trying at all.
Yeah. I've
been to trade shows and I've looked across the aisle at the stand and they're sitting there in the book. But you've also got on the other end of that spectrum I've seen businesses that are smaller than me who have spent 60, 70, 80,000 pounds on a colossal stand, but maybe don't have the experience to exercise that stand to get that rate of return.
Yeah.
So the truth is, it's not for everyone. It's a bit. What can I tell you? I'm actually working on a trade show as we speak right now for a client of a motorhome business, and as I say, they're very, very powerful. This is why people who operate trade shows do make good money, because their job is to get all the clients to come to a place. All the potential clients love a day out, especially if it's a subject matter, like camper vans or motorsports, photography. Insert popular subject, create trade show around it. People go to this. These are events. They're looking to buy. They're interested in the subject. Research. Again, if there's a fishing convention, you're going to go around. It's information pack, new products. That's something you're going to be excited for. Now, if you're a fishing tackle manufacturer, online, absolutely you can have a web presence, you can be in the magazines, you can be on the forums. But going to a trade show can have real tangible. Now, why do I say that? Something you'll get from a trade show that you don't get in many other circumstances is real valuable time with a customer. Where customers are like, oh, hey, I'm looking for insert whatever you're selling, and then you get to talk to them. So on a big sort of helicopter view level, you really get to understand your clients as a macro. On a micro level, like talking to that one client, you can really understand what their needs are. Because they may be there for a camera lens, but customer one is looking to photograph birds from long distance. Customer 2 is looking to photograph birds much closer. As silly as I say, I'm not going to sit here and profess to be an expert on lenses or avian matters of the difference between a pigeon and a dove. But look, I'm trying to make the point that two customers can appear the same, but they're ever slightly different solutions. And in a trade show, it is actually very good. You get that time
to actually identify.
And the reason that excites me is because the quicker you can identify it, the more niche you can do it, higher percentage probability you will sell to them. And that's what we're there for, trade show. Obviously, the branding element. So we we've done trade shows in the past where we've got clients 6 to 12 months later, off the back, and we know that they saw us at that trade show, then saw one of our adverts.
Okay.
So it's that reinforcement of brand.
Yep.
So should you do them? Yes. Cost is a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my number one tip is they have rate card.
Mm-hmm.
Things do change, and depending on the show, some of them are just, there's nothing, but 9 times out of 10, there's a discount to be had.
Yeah.
On what they call the rate card. Because if you've got an agency buy, you get discounts, or you may have to get them to throw in the electricity, etc., etc. But be careful on the costs, because you've got the stand.
Okay.
You've normally got the add-ons in, electricity, Wi-Fi,
Because your stand doesn't come with any graphics or anything, it's just a shell, isn't it?
No, exactly. My advice to people who are doing trade shows is to look at the whole. Are we doing this one show, or are we doing a series of events over the next few years?
Yeah.
You get some really cool stuff where it sort of opens up and then folds away, and you can use it on the next trade show, the next one, the next one. So items like that mean you can invest once and reuse.
Yeah.
Because or certainly when I'm talking now, I'm envisaging big trade show.
Mm-hmm.
4-day, but there's the micro ones as well. There's the 1-day local stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They can be really powerful.
Yeah.
You can turn up with a roll-up banner and a few brochures to, Telford Fishing Show, a 1-day event, or Swindon Photography. Okay, the volume of traffic's smaller, but sometimes it could be,
particularly if you're a local business in that area, it could be more beneficial to you, isn't it?
You took the words out of my mouth. Absolutely. So when I talk trade shows, I'm talking events as well, not just big expensive trade shows.
No.
My number one tip for trade show is to get actually just energy.
No.
Wasted time. I see everywhere I go in trade shows, it's either manned by uneducated children or people who just really don't want to be there.
Yeah.
And I just think that's a waste. I'm not talking about all of them, but I think that's the missing key. If you're going to spend £100 or £10,000, make sure that money's an investment. Utilise that. I go to trade shows, and if I'm assisting on the stand, I will be into the aisle. I'll be stepping out, talking to people. I'm not talking about in their face. But I'm talking about utilising that opportunity. Use your opportunities. You don't get many in life.
You paid to be there.
You've paid to be there.
Yeah.
You've paid for your staff to be there. You've paid for hotels.
No.
You've got transportation of the staff. It's not cheap for a trade show.
No.
But the truth is, it doesn't need to be cheap. It just needs to be the right rate of return. If it's £1, if it costs you £1, you get 10. It's 10 to 1. But if it costs you 100,000, you get £1 million. It's the same return.
No.
Or it costs you 100,000, you get 3 million. It's even better return.
No.
But don't waste those opportunities. Utilise that branding, collect information.
Cool.
Don't let people off the hook that easy, because as a trade show user, not as an exhibitor, as a visitor, it can get exhausting. So by lunchtime of a trade show, I don't want to give my email address to anyone else for the rest of my life. I'm done. But all these people, but I do appreciate they're exhibiting, they're trying. So sometimes you have got to be persuasive and that nice. You've got to make it easy. That's why these zappers at these trade shows look beep beep. It's because it's like there's no hassle. So you've got to make it easy to get the information, because I may want exactly what you're selling. But I'm just tired and I want to go get a coffee and a sandwich. And right now I just can't process it. So be firm, get their information. Follow-ups have got to be super quick. We've done things where we've followed up autonomously. So you go click, boop, or you type it in and they've got a follow-up email before they've walked away from the stand. Certainly it should be within 24 hours. But I know people that don't follow up till 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks after a show. Waste. Complete waste. Those warm leads are getting colder and colder and colder by the minute. So they can be hugely powerful.
So you mentioned going out into the aisles and jumping on people to try and get them to...
I didn't say jumping on people, no. I said be enthusiastic. Yes.
Okay, so Do you need to have a freebie on offer to incentivise people to come over to the stand as well, or?
Okay, so the answer is I like freebies. Okay,
everybody loves freebies.
You've got to incentivise, but it has to be focused.
Yeah.
Okay, the amount of times there are what I call exhibit rabbits who are running around with plastic bags collecting all the freebies.
Yeah, exhibit rabbits
in their bags.
Yeah.
For their freebies.
Yeah.
That's not what you want. Somebody who's looking for what you sell. So if you're giving away tape measures and you're a butcher, I mean, or you're there exhibiting. Give me an example of something.
Home furnishings.
Home furnishings, and you're giving away torches with your name on.
Yeah.
What a waste of money.
Yeah.
Everyone wants a torch.
Yeah.
They're not going to look at your name.
No.
If you're giving away something that's orientated towards what you're selling. Well, if somebody doesn't want what you're selling, they're highly unlikely to want your freebie.
Yeah, so like fabric swatches for home furnishing.
It could be fabric swatches. It could be a simple. I say simple. It takes time, but I'm a big fan in books. I think we've discussed this before. Like, if you've got a book about the 27 ways to
design your living room.
Design your living room for peace or for prosperity or whatever the focus is. 27 colour palettes that will calm your children. I don't know much about internal stuff like that. But the point being is, if it's something that resonates with what you're selling, it's only going to resonate to people who are potentially your clients. So yes, getting them over. Having said that, I did a trade show, I mean we're going back 10 years now, where we put just like a golf club and putter on there. And just let clients do that for a bit of a competition. It's very focused. It was a very trade show. Like Joe Public wasn't there. It was like glass and glazing direct or something like that. Literally only trade customers. So you kind of knew everyone had the potential to be a client, and certainly adding some movement and something different, as you say, attracted the attention from the same. So you're walking past these things, it's like same stand, and they are a bit samey. So you've got to attract them. But get their details. If you can, or if you do a freebie, it's good, orientate towards what you're selling. To again further niche focus. And I could write a book on trade shows because again it depends on which some of them you go there with trade oriented offers.
Competitions.
Yeah, competitions. If you're selling websites, it might be you put a discount for the trade show. Commit now. I mean, I've been to the big ones in the UK, like Ideal Home Exhibition, where they're selling like knives and whisks and home stuff at a discounted rate. Some of these places can be pure on shopping experiences for some people. More trade-specific shows are less like that and more information-orientated. But no, so going back to the original question, are they worth it? Yes, if you get the ingredients right, you'll get a good rate on return. So you don't want to overpay for your stand. You need to man it with the right people, attitude and energy. You need to offer a freebie that's orientated towards your ideal marketplace. You need to make sure you get their information. And I held 5 fingers up, so it must have been the 5th thing, and I can't think what it is now. Measure your expectations. There's no point you paying that £10,000 for a trade stand. So if you've got £10,000 for a trade stand and you're on a 10% profit margin, that means you would have to make 100 grams worth of sales just to pay for the stand. And you sell £1 widgets that are only sellable to 1 in 10,000 or 1 in 100,000. You've got to have a good understanding before you go
of what you need to make it a success.
Of the maths, absolutely. And we go there, we go, right. Sometimes we gut feel, you've got to know your numbers. This particular one we were doing the other day, we said, well look, if we sold 1 high ticket items, these were, if we sold 1 item,
success.
That would pay for the stand and we'd come out with some profit. We sell 2, that's a success. And we're like, surely we sell 2 of these if there's 25,000 people who potentially want these. You knock out half of those can't afford it. The other half, another half of those again aren't ready to purchase. You're down 25%. So half of those are fine. It goes down and down and down. But even if you're at 4% of 25,000 people, you're going to sell to.
Yeah.
Unless you blow it. It was worth it. So know your numbers.
Cool.
Got a bit disjointed then, didn't it?
But no, we got there in the end.
Did that make sense?
Yeah, I think it will answer a lot of questions that some people have about trade shows. There's a lot of people have never been before, so.
And I think my number one tip for anyone doing a trade show is wear comfy shoes.
No.
Oh man.
Standing up all day pretty much, aren't you? So.
And you know what? Even people who are in a physical job, who would say stand around all day, have come to trade shows with me, and after day 2, because it is, in a literal sense, standing for 8 to 10 hours with a little bit of walking, you just those calves. If you go into a workshop, actually they have these anti-pressure, they have these mats, specifically to stop this happening in your leg, because you're standing something all day.
But trade shows.
Not a trade show. You just got to suffer. So that's obviously the UK. I mean, other countries obviously it's a
bit different.
That is good. And networking's the other one, I suppose, is the PS on the end of this episode. I've never felt like there's much competition in the world. I've always thought, okay, you do what I do, and we've both got mortgages to pay for, and we need to eat, and etc. So there will be other companies at those trade shows that do what you do, and I'd implore you to go and say hello. Network. It's lonely being in business, and if you've got 4 or 5 other people there in the same boat as you, doing the same thing in the same industries, I'd implore you not to look at them as competitors and more as potential allies, because there is safety in numbers and
cool.
All sorts of magical things. So.
Sounds good.
Right, I'm going to get back to the office. I'll
catch you next time.
Yeah, thanks dude.
Cool,
have a good day. Bye.